Right, just want to show confirmation that I was having a bit of trouble with this spell originally, but I have managed to be able to get it fixed. So here you are with the Hellbat. It's just a ginormous bloody white gargoyle. Huge. Right, so I managed to get rid of some way, but not much. I'm still gonna might still have issues with this for a little bit further down the line. Alright, we are going to go on to the next area, which is the new area. So the newly added content to Cave of the Unknown. Now, I don't know what you mean. I do have to go all the way to the other side of the fucking forest to get there. Ugh. But before we enter the new place, we are going to actually look at the theories of ARCA first. So before we enter the Convection Laboratory, we are going to read. We're going to have a little bit of a read. You can ignore some of these other books because they are from another mod, which I haven't done a video on, but it's a bit late for me to do it on this one. But if you are interested, and if you are interested in seeing me do a walkthrough of the Knights and the Claw, let me know in the comments below, and I will do a walkthrough on that. Quite how I'm going to do that, I don't know quite yet, because I've already done it on this profile, but I will find a way to do it. So if you're interested in seeing that, a walkthrough of the Knights and the Claw, then again, let me know in the comments below. But now we are going to go on to reading Theories of ARCA. This might be a bit of a long read, alright? So bear with me. And some of the grammar might be wrong because I was probably a bit of an idiot when I was writing this. I don't know. It has been said that nobody has ever been inside this cave apart from the fabled unknown woman. But what has never been said is what is inside the cave. And by the power of the divines, I never would have thought that there would be what I have found. This place, this ARCA, which I have found its name in various texts and transcripts, is a place that leaves me with so many questions. In this book, I will use my knowledge of the Dwemer to explain my theories into what I believe this amazing place was used for, or what it was built for. Let's first talk about the main chamber of ARCA. One thing about ARCA is for sure this place was built for the purpose of creating an army of some kind. But for what purpose? Now, some parts of the main forging area seem to be wrong for any normal blacksmith to create weapons and armors for an army. The anvils to start are too big for any normal man. So I believe that the dwarves had built their centurions, and to help speed up production, had their own centurions creating more centurions. Which then this brings us on to the question of why there seems to be some centurions that are larger than others, and to why there are two centurions that tower at such high heights. Looking back in the main chamber, there are some very big practice dummies. What creatures stand at such heights? Now, after remembering the research I did when I worked with Septimus on the Elder Scrolls, I recall that there was an Elder Scroll that was said to talk about dragons and their return, which to this day is still believed by most of the Nords. Is this the purpose of ARCA? A workshop to build an army ready to fight the dragons on the day of their return? I believe that is what it was up until the time when all the Dwemer mysteriously vanished. There is one room that was a real surprise, in the fact that no other chamber like it has been documented. I, of course, am speaking about what I have found in texts, the chamber known as the geothermal engine. I have never seen anything like it, but its construct is amazing. From what I can presume is that the engine extracts the molten rock into the body of this engine, and from speculation, the power and heat of the molten rocks is used to power ARCA Sandin, powering all of its forges, pipelines and vents, and probably at a point it may have powered some kind of lighting system, which unfortunately seemed to stop working, with the exception of what I presume was some kind of living quarters. The next area I wish to talk about is what I call an impossible forest. This forest somehow has managed to grow and thrive without sunlight, and even though there is light in this cave, the light is not sunlight. I believe that the Dwemer who worked in ARCA Sandin managed to find a way to create an artificial sunlight, but it is not clear to me if it has been done through magic or other means. But the light in this forest is very unusual, as it seems to follow you like some kind of spotlight. What I do know is that this forest is an entrance to an ancient Nordic temple. What the name of this temple is, I do not know, but I have searched parts of the ruin. I have some theories that I will share with you in this book. There is also an entrance to another ruin, but when I get close, I hear some unusual noises coming from the ruins. Though I am able to hold my own in a fight, I need to conserve what strength I have and magic I have left to ward off the animals of the forest. I will just have to hold out until Sarai returns from the Nordic Ruins. As previously stated, the ancient ruins are that of the ancient Nords, but the name of the temple to me is unknown, but I do believe it is still tied to ARCA Sandin, and possibly to why ARCA Sandin was built. I believe that the Elder Scroll that is said to talk about the dragons was found inside this Nordic ruin, and then taken to Blackreach to be studied by Dwemer scholars. ARCA Sandin was built near the ruin after the Elder Scroll had been transcribed onto a lexicon, which then was returned to ARCA Sandin, as it may have been possible that the Nordic ruin could hold more secrets and information about the dragons left behind, the ancient Nords. I will continue to study ARCA Sandin and learn its secrets, but when it comes to the myth of the unknown woman, I will read the notes and findings of my travel partner Sarai when she returns from her extensive search of the Nordic ruins. Jesus, that was a long read. So yeah, so again, I'm not gonna go over that again because it's quite a long read. But again, if you are interested, you can go back in the video and just either pause at certain points and read it yourself, or just let me read it to you with my, I don't know, terrible reading voice. But yeah, so basically, to give you a synopsis of it, it's basically the ruin over there is where the scroll, the Elder Scroll that you get in the game during the main quest, was originally discovered. So then the Nord, and you know, obviously the Dwemer here, so the Nords made a deal with the Dwemer that they were going to use that scroll to basically rid the world of dragons, and then after that they would give it to the Dwemer, because since this area did belong to the Dwemer, and they would give it to the Dwemer, and basically it ended up in Blackreach. And then it gives you a bit of a synopsis on all the areas and how all the areas work, and basically what my idea to what the areas were going to be and how they would work. So really effectively the theories book is my theories, but obviously I wanted to portray that into a way that into the game. But again, if you're interested in hearing it again or reading it again, you can just go back and just pause it when you want to pause it, read it, and so on and so forth, and just absorb a bit more of the lore. So next we are going to go into the new area, and we are going to go into the Confection Laboratory. Alright, here we are in the Conjuration Laboratory. Now, I've had to sort of like mess around with my items because of weight issues in ways of like carrying too much weight. And obviously you get these guys straight away. Now, these are like little tiny dwarven people. I'm just going to take these guys out. That's one guy down. There's another guy down. You got this guy coming up. There. And he's down. So yeah, so we've got these mechanized dilemma. And again, they got like very similar stuff to some of the other Centurions. Right, but yes, this is the Conjuration Laboratory. What's your big, you see over here, you have, you know, sort of like little smelting area kind of thing. You know, so you're actually able to use the smelter, you can use the Skyforge, workbench, grindstones, you know, they all work. But what you're going to want to come over here for is this here. This is a new spell. So I'm going to have a look at that. Called the ARCA Sandin Volley. So what this does is fires a spectral arrow at the target, doing 120 points of damage and staggering the target. Lightning bolt that does 80 points of shock damage to health and half to magicka, then leaps to a new target. So it's sort of like, it's got a bit of chain lightning in there, I think, by the looks of it as well. So this should be within the destruction. So let's see if we can find it. Imagine it might be. Okay, right, it's not in destruction. Where are we? There we are. So it's in Conjuration. So you'll find it in the Conjuration school. Let's do that. Here. Doesn't look like much, but we're going to test it out. Over on this side, it's a bit more stuff to do with what is lore-based kind of stuff. Anyway, you'll find some dwarven weapons. Yeah, there's nothing special. There's standard dwarven weapons. But what you want to look for is this here. So we're going to take it. I'm now over encumbered, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to just check something here. But what you want to go for is, what you're looking for is this stuff here. It's the dwarven mech armor. So dwarven mech armor increases magic resistance by 100%, increases your health by 200 points, increases armor rating by 150 points. Oh, that's useful. Dweck mech boots. Wow, Dweck? What the hell's Dweck? Dwemer mech boots. 100 carrying capacity and no movement penalty from armor. So that's actually a pretty useful thing for me to wear right now. Dweck. I've got to say Dweck. What? Can someone write in the comments what Dweck is? Because I have no idea. Dwemer mech gauntlets. Two-handed attacks do 100% more damage. One-handed attacks do 100% more damage. Unarmed strikes do 300 additional damage. So pack a punch. The Dwemer mech helmet. Time between shouts is reduced 20%. Increases poison resistance by 100%. Can swim underwater without drowning. And then the Dwemer mech shield. Increases armor rating by 150 points. Blocks 70% more damage with your shield. Increases magic resistance by 90%. So you can become very, very resistant to magic and all that. Alright, so we're gonna now actually try and sort some stuff out, because again, having a bit of an issue with carry weight. I think that's all I need to do for now, really. Not the boots and armor, tell us. Right. So I'm going to wear the Dwemer mech boots for now because it does increase my carry capacity. Now in here you do find two sets. there are 2 sets of it, so you can take one for yourself and take one for a follower if you want to take both sets. I'm going to see if I can got the ability to take both sets. I do, but how much more can I carry? Because there is still stuff to get. Ooh, right, push here. But yeah, so this room, again, on the right hand side, you got the ability to do some smithing whilst you're here if you got the materials from ARCA Sandin itself. And then on this side you can see there's like more little mini guys up here, but they're all basically inactive. A couple of weapons, a couple of bit, you know, a little bit of loot here and there. So we're gonna go this way. And first off, we are gonna go and turn to the right. Here's another mechanized door. Smash, smash. And then one of the big ones. So we've got Security Centurion. And he is down. And then you come into here, and you got a couple more in here. A couple of these little tiny dwarves. Dwarf Centurions. Higher, and higher. And he's down. Alright. So obviously in here it's supposed to be like some kind of like, you know, like a little living area sort of thing where, you know, where they would all, you know, hang out, sleep, get a bit of food, this, that and the other. Yeah. And you know, you got your standard dresses, you know, la 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 la. One big one here, tra la. But the ones that would be interesting for you is this. The one here and the one over there. So here is the weapon quantum chest. So if you go into it, now what is in here is basically, it is the standard version and special kind of weapons of every single weapon pretty much basically in the game. You know, so you got all the gadget weapons, all the slightly odd weapons that you can find throughout the game, like Red Eagle's Fury, the long hammer, Luna Steel's sword, Queen Freddy's sword, and a steel sword. You know, so you got all of these different weapons. Some of them are just like your standard. They are like the standard weapons. You know, there's nothing too crazy about them. They're all just your standard kind of stuff. But you do get some of the other ones where it's like the gold or black bow or Troll's Bane. You know, some of these are actually enchanted. Or you have Aegis Bane. You know, so it's basically every weapon in the game. Granted that not all of them are actually enchanted, but some of them are. So that's the weapon quantum chest. And if you go over here, we have the armor quantum chest, where you will find basically on a bog standard level all of the armors in the game. So you got all the Daedric mass, or the other different armors you can get, and this, that, and the other. You know, so there's a lot of things in here. So it may, if you want to take most of the stuff, it may take a few trips back and forth. Now, obviously, normally these chests you'll find in the test room, but it's not always. But normally you can only tend to get in the test room on the PC via console commands. But I think some people have created mods that allow you to gain actually access to the testing room, even on Xbox and on PS4. But I've just done the weapons one and the armors chest. So that should be something interesting for you to all look into. And then you got like some normal chests with some leveled loot inside of it. I'm not going to bother wasting my time unlocking them, but you know, there'll be leveled loot in there. But in this room there are 2 books. We have To Save Our People. I'm not going to read that now. I'm going to read that in a short bit. And then over here we have Gamma Ray Burst, which is a new spell. So we're going to learn that. We have Gamma Ray Burst. Now I'm hoping that this one works, because I've tried to create a spell like this before and it's always been a bit, a little bit funky. We got it. You do have to give it a bit of time to charge up. So there you go, now you're on fire. And okay. Now we're going to test this. I need to test this just to make sure this is actually working to the way I want. Otherwise, that's one thing I do need to fix. Ooh. Alright. We got some people here. Now, alright, so I definitely found one thing I do need to fix. So, unfortunately, as of at the moment, that doesn't appear to be working. I don't know why that isn't working. So, that will be patched in a later update. So, you don't need to worry about that. In a later update, that will be patched. Alright, so it's going to take this guy down. Alright, so I will try and figure out what's going on with that one. Because what it's supposed to be doing is that it's supposed to be very similar to the Firestorm. So I may have to change it around a little bit, make a few changes to it, bada bing, bada boom. So do not worry for now. Again, that will be patched with a new version of it, which I will make sure that it's actually working properly. It may just take me, you have to just give me a little bit of time. It won't take too long, a couple of days just to patch it. Obviously because I have other things going on as well. So we're gonna come up here. Yeah, attack these fellas. But now, as you can see, this room is a very, very strange room. It's very odd, very, very unusual room. This room's unusualness will come apparent when we read the book. But as you can see, there are a couple of beds, and obviously if you look up here, bright light, you got this weird contraption. It's a very, very strange room. So what the hell is it all about? Well, we can find out basically what that is about and what this whole new area is all about by reading To Save Our People, which I will be doing very shortly. Just want to get out of here first. But that's it for in here. So there is definitely one thing I do need to patch, which is that gamma ray burst. So I need to figure out what's gone wrong there. But again, shouldn't take me too long to fix it. So so don't panic. I will be able to get it fixed up, and be able to get it fixed up pretty soon. So we're going to go back into Mr. Scogan. And right, so we are going to read this book, To Save Our People. Here. So we're going to read To Save Our People. Alright, so The Confection Experiment by Bagrun Lolani. Let me get straight to the point. As soon it will be my time to travel the confection wave and become one with my new body. This confection experiment has been a secret experiment hidden away from my fellow brethren in ARCA, as some of them may question and oppose the ethics of this experiment. But we are doing it for our people. As our brethren fight at the Red Mountain, I fear that there will be a retribution against us all, which will result in our bodies being destroyed and disappearing from this world. But what if we could move what makes us us into a new automaton body? We have already had success with volunteers within the experiment, though it does sadden me that not all survived the convection wave. Even though I know that not all survive, but this is our best chance at survival, and I plan to bring the results of this experiment to many other Dwemer, so we will all transcend from these bodies of flesh and into bodies of our own creation. Now, I know many will see me as mad and would see me locked away in Merith Insane Asylum. But to those I say, is it truly madness for me to be this way in this mad world? So, to explain, if you're still not 100% clear on what this is all about, those little tiny Dwemer centurions, the mechanized Dwemer, were originally Dwemer, and they were the ones who worked in the convection laboratory. But what they did is that basically with the room that has the beds sort of like in a circle with the weird contraction in the air, that is supposed to be like what creates the convection wave to help transfer the soul of the Dwemer or the dwarf into a new metal body. So all those little tiny automatons were the Dwemer at one point, but due to some fears and some madness from this one guy, they basically left their bodies and entered the new little tiny dwarven centurions. And that's basically what it is. And so, in simple premise, it's simple. It's a simple premise. It was body swapping. That's basically what the Convection Laboratory was for. It was effectively body swapping. But obviously, in the end, they kind of failed. In the end, really, the experiment itself was a success, but obviously it failed as they never actually managed to get the principles of the convection wave out to the rest of the Dwemer, and the Dwemer still disappeared. So it's not a surprise. Or did they? Who's to say that these dwarven dynamos aren't actually potentially holding the souls of other Dwemer? Never know. But that's it for there. So we are now going to move on to the unknown tomb, which is just over here. Here we are, unknown tomb. Bum bum bum. So we're going to go into the unknown tomb. Now, be prepared for it to get dark. So you're probably going to find it hard to see on the screen. But don't worry, I'm going to find it hard enough to see in the game as well anyway. So we're both screwed. Alright then. Welcome to the unknown tomb. Isn't it? You can see it's not pitch black, but it is dark. It is a very dark place. So what we're going to want to do very quickly is come here to this burnt corpse in the center of the room. And here we will find the Journal of Sarai. And we're going to read that in a minute. But what we're just going to quickly do is we are actually going to quickly just get out Night Eye or Angel Eyes. And oh dear, how they got him up there, I don't have a clue. Alright, so we've got Night Eye going. So let's have a look at Journal of Sarai. Journey to the Unknown Woman by Sarai. After a couple of days of travelling through this unusual place, which no doubt the scholar who has come with me has been writing about, we have both found a Nordic ruin entrance, which can be the only place left now where the unknown woman can be. If this myth turns out to be true, or real. I have come across a few Draga, but nothing that I can't handle. But there is one thing that is bothering me, by the fact that it always feels like that there is someone watching me, or walking by my side, and nothing is there. Now, the myth of the unknown woman is easy to understand. It is said that at some point a woman decided to enter the cave and was never seen again. Sounds like a story parents would tell their children to stop them coming here. What interests me is that I have seen written accounts of the local Nords saying that sometimes at night, mainly just after midnight, that they can see a figure standing outside the cave entrance. But it never moves, it seems to stand there, and when the moonlight hits it, it simply fades away. Now that is explained, I truly believe it's just paranoid noise, but the idea is still worth looking into. Second day in Nordic Ruins, and the unknown feeling I keep having is getting worse. I swear that soon my own shadow will scare me half to death. There is one thing that I am struggling to work out, is that from time to time I will see something carved on a wall or a wood support, but I can't work out what it is saying, as it is too degraded. But what I do know is that it seems to start with and I think that there is also an A, but I'm not sure. Is it a name? But I don't know why, but I don't think I want to find out, as I know of a name that begin I am bruh. So if you played Oblivion, as well as some of the older actual Elder Scrolls games, you may recognise that name. So, we now know who the unknown woman is. Well, depicting himself as a woman, shall we say. It is Umbra, the witch, or wizard. Ooh. Here we are, have an undead Tetra Night. You gotta be careful with these guys, as these guys can pack a bit of a punch if you're not careful. So we're gonna get through this place now. We're gonna get through. Hiya, hiya, hooah. Get through here. Take these guys out. Now, if you've played some of my other dungeon mods, you may recognise the name of Tetra Night, as they have been a recurring theme through quite a few of my dungeon mods. So, you know, and the idea is that when I was creating all these dungeons, you know, I had this idea. And yeah, I had this idea that I wanted to make, I wanted to make them more connected in some way. Wasn't so sure how, but I wanted to sort of have them connected in some kind of way. And that way that they are connected is through the Tetra Nights. So, you know, they all tie together in some form of way. And then, now here's where the darkness really kicks in. Really kicks in here. Don't worry, this isn't an empty void, because you are actually running through water at this point. We're gonna go through. Oh, there's a dead guy. But this is a Draga Death Overlord, and he died in one hit. He also died. He also died. And then you get to the end of it, where you get some more Tetra Nights. I'm gonna take these guys out. Smash, smash, smash. Oh, hello. Get them away. And then we have a Tetra Mage. Take out the mage. Anyway, you don't. I mean, technically, you don't necessarily have to, but I'm just going to take out the mage anyway. And there you go, mage dead. Boom, boom. So we are now going to enter Plane of Tetra. Ooh. Here we are in the Plane of Tetra. And unfortunately, I can't wait, so I'm just going to have to wait for the night eye to run out. So it might be a bit bright at the moment. Somebody go. So we do have to be a bit wary. Okay. Ooh, I'm swimming in the air. I'm swimming in the air. Da da. Okay, that's a bit unusual. Obviously, slight little boat. Oh God. I've appeared to have broken the game. I can't change the height though, so I can't go swimming higher and higher. But there you go. We'll just jump and we'll get out of that. Die, you bastard. So yeah, you do have to be a little bit wary of that. Lucky enough, it's easy to sort out. If you're swimming in the air, just jump and you'll get out of it. But yeah, that was unusual. But as you can see, this whole place is bloody unusual. Look at it. Now, yes, I am able to wait. So I'm still gonna wait because I just want to get the night eye off. And here we are without night. It's still kind of bright without the night eye, but then it is daytime. But now that it's daytime, you can see just how unusual this place is. All these dragons and bubbles. Bubbles. Now that can be explained away within the Knights on the Claw dungeon mod. You know, there is a tie-in to that. Now it's going to take that guy out. There you go. Death. But yeah, this is just a plane of Tetra. We got a whole load of bloody Tetra enemies to take out here. And just take some of them out. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bosh. It's gonna run through. Wait, no, you don't. Ow. Take this guy out. He's down. Just gonna run over to this guy. Smack him in the back with the sword. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. You know, I'm not gonna go after every single one. I don't necessarily need to. So I'm gonna go over here because there's two over there, but just one here. So we're gonna go after this dude. It's easier dude to go for. Yeah. And oh, face plant. Now, as you can see, at the end. Okay, yeah. The reason why these skeletal dragons are doing this kind of like glitchy thing here, I don't know. It happens a lot with dragons. I come to realise that when you put modded dragons into a thing, it might just be something to do with the mapping of the area. But you got two skeletal dragons to fight. So you got Dilfoquef. So he's down. You get Dilfoquef. Hey, he's got a few bits and bobs and nothing crazy. Oh yeah, if they fall into the water like that, they will just sink forever and ever and ever. You know, there's no flaw to this. And then you got Dilfoquef. Now I can't quite remember exactly what they translate to, but as you saw, one of them used frost and the other one used fire. You know, so there are different elements. And no, he is gonna sink like a brick. So not a lot can do that. He's gonna sink like a brick and be gone and go bye bye. Alright, so we are now about to enter the final chamber. Here's the end goal, the Chamber of Umbra. So let's go in. Alright, so we've got the Chamber of Umbra here. Ooh, spoopy. So Umbra's in here somewhere. Where are you, Umbra? Are you over here? Are you hiding over here? You're normally hiding. Oh, somewhere. Hello, Umbra. Now, Umbra can pack quite a bit of a punch. So you do have to be careful against Umbra. Especially by the fact that the sword does actually drain health from you, so her health could potentially climb back up. The sword, as you can see, swings very fast. And you can see that she is doing damage to me quite well, actually, considering that my armor rating at the moment is on 1062 and my health is at 890. You know, so as you can see, she is able to pack a punch. So you do have to be careful. But what we are going to do is we are just basically just going to get Solar Wind and go fuck you. And just get Umbra to fly around the room here. So actually, this would be a good time to show you the force shield. Hopefully this thing's fucking working, because it was working before. Alright, so we've got the force shield. So Umbra's going to run towards me and douche. Now, I don't think it always strikes. I don't think it doesn't always hit. No, you do have to. So you know you do have to be a bit careful with it because it doesn't always hit. So something that you probably could do if you don't have something like Solar Wind. I mean, you can use Relenting Force, but obviously you have to wait for that to recharge. So we're going to take that off for just for a second, and now we're going to put it back on. Okay, she's not wearing it. There you go. So you can like equip it and then unequip it, and the enchantment will work again. But it's one of those ones where it doesn't always work straight away. It will work first time round, and then I think it does work randomly, though. I think that's the thing. I think it works at least once on an enemy each time. But you can obviously just exploit it. Oh, nice finish. But obviously you can exploit it by favoriting the shield, and then once it's done its smash thing, you can just then unequip it, attack, and then when the guy then run back, and then when she comes around towards you, equip it again, pushes it over, and just rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat until when she's dead, like now. So that is the end of Umbra, or in this case, Sarai, because Umbra actually possessed Sarai. Now, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to take all this stuff. This is the only issue I'm going to have here. Carrying capacity. Oh, am I able to take Umbra's stuff? This is the issue. Because I think the carrying capacity is slightly higher on Umbra's boots here. So we're going to have a look. Hey, not really. 531, 533, 519. So I need to actually wear that. 518. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. On this occasion, I'm gonna have to. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get rid of at least one set each of these. The mech armor, so I'm going to get rid of one of them each, so I should be able to run now. There you go, and I'm free. So let's have a little look at this Umbra stuff. Let's see what Umbra stuff does. So Umbra's sword, damage 207. So it's a hefty hitter. If target dies within 10 seconds, fills a soul gem. Target takes 60 points of frost damage to health and stamina, absorbs 20 points of health. So she can always absorb health from you. Okay, it's not a granted, it's not a load of health, but it can still be a little bit of an issue. And as you can see, it is quite a fast swinging sword. You know, so it does swing faster than the average ebony sword. So now we're going to go down to Umbra's armor. So Umbra armor rating 111, increases armor rating by 100 points. Destruction spell costs 80% less to cast, increases your health by 150 points. Health regenerates 80% faster. Umbra boots, armor rating 55, or at least on my file, these are the ratings. Carry capacity increased by 150 points, increases your stamina by 150 points, stamina regenerates 120% faster. Umbra gauntlets, armor rating 55, so the same as the boots. Bows do 70% more damage, conjuration spells cost 80% less to cast, one-handed attacks do 80% more damage, two-handed attacks do 80% more damage. Umbra helmet, armor rating is 64, increases your magicka by 150 points, magicka regenerates 90% faster, alteration spells cost 80% less to cast, illusion spells cost 90% less to cast. And then Umbra shield, increases armor rating by 150 points, blocks 70% more damage with the shield, increases magic resistance by 90%. So it's some pretty powerful stuff. Not like overpowering, I will say. It's not overpowering like what some of my armor's got in later mods. But, you know, it's pretty powerful stuff. So that is it for, that's it for the main bulk of this mod, the main bulk of the fight against Umbra. Now, originally, before I did a update to this thing, you did have to go back through a lot of places. So you had to go back through here, go back through the plane of Tetra, go back through the unknown tomb to get to Mr. Scogan, to then go back to where you needed to go to. But since that was a little bit of a bitch to do, and it was something that a lot of people did mention, that they were like, that you needed a faster way to get back. So I have obliged to that. So now there's still a doorway here, and all you gotta do is just go for here, and it takes you to Mr. Scogan. And as you can see, we are up here. So earlier on in the mod, you saw when I was showing you about where all the switches were for the puzzle. You saw me look up and look at these things to say, oh, don't worry about them, we're going to worry about them later. This is now where we worry about them. Now, you do have to be careful. It's a bit of a drop. But on most occasions, you should be able to survive easily. You might get hurt a little bit, but you'll survive easily. And then, all you gotta do to get out now is just run to the other side of Mr. Scogan. So I'll see you over on the other side. Alright. So just to give you another recap of how to get out of the dungeon. Go back to the entrance of where Mr. Scogan is. So it's more on sort of like within the south part of Mr. Scogan. And then you just come around the corner here. You'll probably more likely see the tower first anyway. But you're looking for like this big ass stone structure here. And then behind here is, you can see that there's this tower. Normally that door is locked. So you'll go to this tree. And inside this chest is the key to the door. Just use that key to open the door. Go in here. And activate the lift, and you end up in Blackreach. Or hopefully you end up in Blackreach. But no. And there you are. And then you end up in Blackreach. So that's it. That is the walkthrough for Cave of the Unknown Woman Redux. This is probably a bit of a longish video. I'm not so sure how long it is going to be, but it is probably a bit of a longish one. So, and once again, with this gamma ray burst. Oh yeah, I never tried out I never tried out this one. Right, let's find a test subject very quickly before we end this. Come on, where is somebody? Can I find somebody to attack? Anybody? Anybody want to fight me? Hello? Hello? Oh, hello. Bandits! Perfect test subject. And... oh, bloody hell. He went down like a sack of shit. Yeah. And he's just, he's just going down like a sack of shit, he is. Boom. See, it's not, it's not overly powerful, but it can pack a bit of a punch. Boom. I like this arrow. This arrow's good. Let's have a look at another one. Let's go to not cave troll. Summon Hellbat. Let's summon the Hellbat. You gonna help me, Hellbat? Boom. And boom. There you go. Thanks, buddy. So yeah, that arrow can pack it doesn't it's not overpowered, but probably still probably fun to use. But yeah, so I will need to work on this one, the gamma ray burst. So probably by the time you're watching this, I should have it patched, and so it should be working. So it might be a little bit different than what I was intending it to be. I might have to slightly change how the spell works, just to make sure that it actually does work. But by the time you're watching this, it should be patched and should be working fine and actually able to actually use it against an enemy. But that's it for this walkthrough. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been in Skyrim, so you never know, I may come back. And again, if you're interested in seeing the Knights in the Claw, just let me know in the comments below, and I will do a walkthrough on that one as well. Again, I need to try and find a way to do it, because I've technically kind of already done it on this file, but I may have an older save that was actually before the dungeon, so I may be able to go back to that one to do it. But that is it. So I hope you find this walkthrough useful and gives you a bit of an insight to some of the ideas that run in my head sometimes with these kind of things. So please remember to like and subscribe, and to share this with some of your friends, as well as just to share the mod in general. I think, because some people might find it quite fun. Some people might find it very hard and very frustrating, but some people will find it easy. But some people will find it just right, the right kind of balance of difficulty of hard and challenging, but doable. But that's it. That's it for this video. That's it for this walkthrough. And unless something else comes along, that is it for Skyrim. But also do remember to check out my playlist of Skyrim, where I do go through some of my other dungeon mods during that, as well as some other people's mods as well. And the playlist is to go through the playlist. The whole purpose of the playlist is to take on all of the gods at the end of the game, and to take over the afterlife. So I will see you all later. You got a question, just exactly where is she keeping all of this stuff? In her bra?